colourful characters has returned to Warrington, the club he led to Wembley glory in the 1970s. Murphy's teamed up with Australian coach John Dorahty, who was sacked by Wigan 18 months ago. Murphy says his mission is to replace Wigan as the best in the business. Christopher Terry reports.
Murphy's law states that English rugby league without Alex is like a show without its star turn. After 15 months out of the game, he's back with the club he brought glory in the 1970s.
I can't explain to you what this club means to me. 8 of the happiest years of my life. 10 trophies in 8 years. If we can manage that with John Dorahty, I'll be very, very happy. With the supporters, with the board of directors, and that's the most important thing. I want to work with a chairman who let me do my job. And Peter Iam and the board of directors have given me just that job.
And Warrington needs his knack for success badly.
This could be a length of the field effort. Cunningham all the way, and Warrington won't catch him. Breathtaking try!
That was 130 points conceded to St Helens in 4 days. Not the sort of form Alex Murphy tolerates.
Sometimes I do lose my temper. It's part of life. But I also know how to handle people. We get results, we win cups, and I think that's what it's all about. So if you see 95% of the coaches in rugby league, ask them what they've won, and you'll have a blank piece of paper.
The man picked as his coach has a point to prove too. John Dorahty was a winner at Wigan. 2 seasons ago, his side destroyed Oldham to become champions before going on to win the double. But within weeks, player power had forced him out. Revenge would be very sweet now, and no clash of personalities this time.
Alex's expertise is not in the actual field coaching, it's mine. And he's backed that 100%. He really doesn't want to get involved in that.
Warrington say it won't turn out to be a marriage made in hell, and Alex is promising to keep to his side of the bed, just about.
Alex, who's got overall responsibility for team affairs? Who pins the team up on the dressing room door between the two of you?
John Dorahty.
Will you have any input at all?
None whatsoever. Well, if you can believe that.
If it doesn't all end in tears, Warrington may well give Wigan something to fear. Christopher Terry, Sky Sports Centre.
Personality in rugby league, and after more than a year out of the game, he's back. He's Alex Murphy, and today he rejoined the club where he enjoyed great success as a coach back in the 70s. Here's Mike Sadler.
Surely you're good players when you do it all the time. I'm having no more doctor's notes neither, and excuses. You train here now from now on. You don't want to train somewhere else.
He may have mellowed a bit since his days at Wigan, but he's back in charge, and today Murphy's Law returned to Warrington. The club have unveiled their new coaching setup in readiness for the Summer Super League. Joining Murphy, whose official title is Football Executive, will be John Dorahty, the former Wigan coach.
I think John Dorahty did a magnificent job at Wigan. All right, things didn't work out with 1 or 2 problems. I admire the man. He's never criticised Wigan. He's his own man. We aim to put a brand of football at Warrington that's not been seen before, and we aim to entertain the supporters.
Funnily enough, I think we're pretty much alike, really, in a lot of ways, after having quite a long chat with him on a couple of occasions, and I think people will be very surprised how well we do get on.
Murphy's return to Wilderspool comes 18 years after a hugely successful period at the club in the 70s. He led Wire to a clutch of trophies in that time, including victory at Wembley in 1974, and he's convinced the potential now is there for the good times to return in the 90s.
We're looking forward to competing at the very highest level. There'll be world-class players arriving at the club as soon as we can find out where they're available. We are going to compete with the likes of Wigan, St Helens, Widnes, Warrington, are going to compete with the other clubs, and hopefully we're going to sign most of them.
The first task facing the new coaching setup is to prepare the side for this weekend's tricky-looking Challenge Cup tie at Oldham.
Big time today. Here to reveal more details, our sports correspondent Charles Lambert.
Yes, 18 years after leaving Warrington, Alex Murphy is back. He's returned to Wilderspool, this time as their football executive. He'll work alongside another big name in the game, John Dorahty, who was the coach at Wigan 2 years ago. Angela Powers reports.
To this camera, that's great. Thanks. It's a partnership unprecedented in rugby league, involving two of the game's big names. Alex Murphy, Warrington's new football executive, led the club to 6 trophy wins in the 70s and has been one of the game's most outspoken characters. Australian John Dorahty will work alongside him as Warrington's new coach. 2 years ago, he led Wigan to the league and cup double.
When we wrote the profile out of what we wanted, as well as motivation and leadership, we wanted someone who had first-hand experience of winning trophies in this country in the recent past, not the dim and distant past. And we wanted a young, modern coach with fresh ideas, with proven experience, who knows what it's like to win a championship and win at Wembley.
It's yet to be seen whether the partnership will work. Murphy's long criticised the domestic game's preference for Australian coaches, and when asked whether he'd have any say on picking the team...
None whatsoever. Well, if you can believe that.
I believe it'll be a partnership between the players, myself and the rest of the coaching staff that will bring that success that, you know, that we're going to have had for a number of years now. It can only be that way. I don't say that or guarantee success. It's entirely up to us as a group to bring that together and help the spectators, you know, enjoy what does come.
With just 10 weeks until the Super League kicks off, the pair have their work cut out in raising the morale of a team which has lost its last 6 matches. Only success will show whether 2 heads are better than 1. Angela Powers, North West Tonight, Warrington.
Well, joining me now is the man himself, Alex Murphy. This title of football executive, what exactly does it mean?
It's a big word. I'm just beginning to think what it does mean, but it means that I will be in control of all footballing matters, just responsible to the board of directors.
Now, what about this business about you not thinking much of Australian coaches? You're going to have to work with one now, aren't you? Well,
I mean, I never said that I didn't like them as people. I just said I don't think the methods what some of them use is the correct procedure for over here. I happen to think that John Dorahty is one of the exceptions where at least he was, when he was playing rugby league over here, he was a world-class back in his own right. And I think his style of play, my style of play, goes down the same way.
Now, this Super League development, is this going to make it easier for clubs like Warrington to catch the likes of Wigan?
Well, I don't just aim to catch Wigan. I aim eventually, you know, to be part in passing them. Everybody has realised that Wigan are the best, the very, very best. And I've got to be honest to say that I did start the ball rolling at Wigan. Now, hopefully, with the likes of John Dorahty, Clive Griffiths and the board of directors at Warrington, we aim not only to catch them up, but also to pass them.
Very briefly, how long will it take you to reach that stage?
Well, I'll be looking in 12 months, and I think there'll be a vast improvement with the team and the coaching staff which we have achieved at Warrington.
Alex, good luck. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Top flight because 2 major Super League clubs have taken big decisions with Super League in mind. Sean McRae, the assistant to Bobby Fulton on recent Kangaroo tours, has joined St Helens as coach, taking over from Eric Hughes, sacked last week. But the biggest news came at Warrington, where Alex Murphy has made a dramatic comeback to the game. He's the new director of rugby at Wilderspool and will work alongside former Wigan boss John Dorahty, who moves in as head coach.
It's something I didn't dream of 12 months ago. I've been out 15 months, needed the rest. My batteries are charged and I'm looking forward to it.
He's the exuberant type, he's outgoing and I think that's important. You know, he's been a legend in the game, he's got great experience, great expertise, and I'll certainly be using that.
Super League is a great idea, and what's going to happen with Super League, hopefully we're going to have world-class players coming and making this game of ours better than what it already is, because we've got the greatest game in the world. I've always said that. I just hope now that it works out for the television, for the public, and we sell it to the public properly.
I've had my ups and downs, and I believe that this partnership with Alex and the partnership with Peter Heim and his board and the players at Warrington will be one of success.
Well, I can tell you that when we were driving home from Paris at the weekend, we were driving around the Périphérique about 6:30 local time, and the news came on the radio that Alex Murphy had joined Warrington, and our driver on the occasion was Steve O'Here, and he very nearly crashed the car. You were quite stunned.
Well, of course, it was a shock. I think that I don't think it's a step forward in the right direction. We talk about bringing in technology. No offence to Alex Murphy, was a great, but I was surprised that Warrington went for 2 people. One man resigns, Brian Johnson resigns, and they appoint 2. I just get the impression that perhaps that Warrington are edging their bets. Who's going to take charge? I know Murphy said he's not going to interfere with anything that John Dorahty does, They don't call Alex Murphy the mouth for nothing. He won't keep it shut.
And yet the people in Warrington apparently are thrilled at the fact that he's back.
Well, of course. I mean, they've had success with Alex Murphy in the past. And he's exuberant, he will create interest. But in the long term, will it be what they want? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, Martin Afai, you are a man who worked under John Dorahty at Wigan for just, what, brief 12 months. What sort of a coach is he? Can he cope with Alex Murphy?
I don't know. I really don't want to go down that road. I can make a lot more enemies. I mean, games against Warrington are hard enough as they are. I'm sure they're going to be pretty more intense now that John Dorahty is there. I think John, you know, is a very good coach. He's got a lot of ideas. I think Wigan, you know, a big establishment, you know, an institution. They've got ideas which have been going back, you know, since they became successful way back in 86, 87, whenever it started. And I think that maybe, you know, John had new ideas, but sometimes they say, you know, if something's not broken, you don't have to fix it. And I think at Warrington, maybe they do need, you know, a fresh input of ideas. They do need, you know, to start from scratch. And I think maybe John might be the best man for them.
But is he a good coach, though, Martin? I mean, you've played underneath him. I mean, is he the man to take Warrington forward?
I think he could be the man for Warrington. Obviously, you know, he wasn't the man at Wigan, but having said that, you know, we were still successful. We didn't win the Regal Trophy that year, but, you know, we still ended up coming back and winning the championship. But as I say, at Wigan, I think it's a case of, you know, they've been successful for so long that if Wesley did leave today, which I'm sure he won't for quite a few years, whoever came in would probably have to, you know, toe the line and carry on doing the things that have always been done and which has made Wigan successful. Other ideas can be good, but, you know, as I say, if it's not broken, you don't fix it, do you?